All right, well, it's 6:01. I like to honor time. So I'm gonna kind of jump in and get started. To kind of give you an overview, I'm gonna introduce everybody that's here to kind of speak and kind of let Mr. Basket here kind of lead us through. He is our AVID district site coordinator. So he's got a whole lot more experience in AVID than I do. And he did a great job yesterday when we talked with a lot of our eighth graders at the middle school. Kind of give you an overview of both the College Center and what AVID's about. And then I'll kind of jump in and talk about the AVID program and how it'll work at Pelion High School. But I'm Bryson Williams. I'm one of the assistant principals at Pelion High School. And I'm also one of the AVID site coordinators at the high school that's really excited to bring this amazing opportunity to our students and really have it progress from the ninth grade all the way through their senior year. So many of our eighth grade students will be the kind of the originals, for lack of a better word, in this AVID journey that we're going to take that we feel is going to be really beneficial. I'll let Jessica Burke introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Jessica Burke. I'm the Director of Counseling at Pelion High School, and we are very excited about adding this AVID program and this opportunity for our students, and I look forward to working with everyone.
And Mr. Basket.
Hey, so I am Brandon Basket. My experience before taking on this role, I was formerly an assistant principal at Lexington High School for 3 years. And then the last 2 years, I've been working with AVID and our College Center program and dual enrollment in Lexington 1.
So I'm going to share my screen with a slideshow. Like I said, I'm going to let Mr. Basket kind of take over in a minute and kind of lead us through kind of what AVID is. Like I said, he is the professional, the expert. So let me get my screen. Can everybody see that? Perfect. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Perfect. All right, so like I said, this is an informational session. We've already done our introductions. We'll talk about the description, the structure, and Mr. Basket will really be able to tell us the difference between the College Center and what our AVID program will be about here. We'll have talk about application admission and timelines. We'll have a Q&A session, and then how we'll kind of keep you informed moving throughout the process. So Mr. Basket, take it away.
Sure, thank you. So just to kind of give an overview of what AVID is, it's a college and career readiness framework. So you think about students who have the motivation to do well in school, those who are interested in excelling and kind of have an idea of what they may want to do in school, but they're still not quite sure. AVID is that system. It's almost like a bridge where it will take you from here to there. And so what we use it to do is we help students get better at writing, at inquiry, at collaborating with one another, becoming more organized, and becoming better readers. And so students who are performing kind of in the middle academically, they have some skills, they have the tools, but we just really want to help them polish it using the AVID system. Because sometimes when students are taking, let's say a more challenging course, it's not that they can't do it, they just need to refine some of those skills that they have. And so, they may just be disorganized. And so it's not that you don't know the information or the material or that you don't understand it. You may just not ever be able to find notes or be able to find work that you did to be able to turn it in. You may not know where you put that presentation in your Google Drive. And so for some students, organization might be the issue. Or let's say sometimes students, they are used to doing work alone and they don't trust people in groups. Well, AVID teaches you how to collaborate, which really mimics the college environment. Once you declare your major in college and you start getting into those courses where you're with the same people all the time because you're all getting the same degree, you establish that sense of community, you collaborate to help one another. And so AVID is basically inserting that into the high school environment and creating that culture for the cohort of 40 students.
Thank you, Mr. Basket. And like I said, this will be our inaugural year. Right now we're in what we're called a planning year. And so we've been planning with Mr. Basket, our AVID team of teachers who we're really excited about. And I'll kind of share with you who those teachers are. Miss Erin Green will be our math AVID teacher. Miss Carly Reeves will be our English AVID teacher. Miss Melissa Kraft will be our history AVID teacher. Miss Katie Thompson will be our science AVID teacher, and Mr. Andrew Leapart will be our AVID strategies teacher. And also, like I said, Miss Burke will be our AVID counselor, as well as Miss Tracy Holcomb will be our AVID teacher leader and one of our site coordinators. With this initial cohort, we're looking for 40 students to be roughly about 2 cohorts of 20 students apiece. And they will run in, like Mr. Baskett said, an AVID college and career readiness framework. So like he said, it's an advancement via individual determination. That's what AVID stands for. So we'll have AVID electives 1 through 4. And again, Mr. Baskett, correct me or help me kind of explain anything if I say anything wrong. But like you said, creates a college going culture, regular tutorials with college tutors, whether they come into our building or they are participating via Zoom. Will help navigate students through the college process and application process. But really starting in that 9th grade year, which your 8th grader would be coming into, is really helping them with those study skills, note-taking, time management, writing and research skills.
So Mr. Williams, real quick, I'll add.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when we spoke to the 8th graders at Pelion Middle, we had a student who came up to us at the end of the presentation, and she just said, hey, you know, what if I don't know what I want to do? You know, so she's a first generation, or will be a first generation college student, so the first in her immediate family to go to college. And so we told her that that was totally fine. That's what our program is for, is that basically we will be able to help you. So if you go back one more slide, Mr. Williams, is that we'll be able to help you navigate that college admission process, because you're going to be doing research on colleges, the majors that they have available there, what's their 4-year graduation rate. So all those things that you may not really know about how to navigate the college environment, college process, you'll learn from, you know, year to year from 9th grade through 12th grade, so that you're making the most informed decision to decide where you want to go to college. And to really, my goal is to make sure that our students do so well in high school that they go to college for free, because they have their academic performance was so great that they get the, you know, scholarships and they get grant funds to pay for their tuition and everything.
Exactly. And so what's unique about the experience at Pelion High School in the AVID program is it's a small sense, or a small cohort. And so those students will really be able to come together and have a sense of belonging. They'll have the same teachers throughout the school year. Those teachers are going to build relationships, really work with them in terms of their coursework, be able to understand those students on a personal level and understand what we can do to really help your student blossom coming into high school and moving through high school. It'll be a college and a high school environment. So the courses they'll be taking will be challenging and rigorous. And after their freshman year, one of our goals as a high school is to get our students in more of what's called dual enrollment courses, which are college level courses offered through Midlands Tech or University of South Carolina, Sumter, or if our students decide to go through the ag program, they'd be able to go through Piedmont Tech. So really in 10th grade, we're going to be able to offer our students more dual enrollment opportunities, especially through this AVID program, because they'll be more prepared for those college and rigorous high school courses, AP or honors level courses. It'll be a high level of individualized support. Like I said, this is a small cohort. These teachers are going to work with them every day. They're going to know their ins and outs and really be able to help support them, not only in the class, but outside the class. And that's another great thing about the AVID support course. Mr. Baskett, what's it called again? I can't remember. AVID elective.
Yep, they're all called AVID electives.
AVID elective course, where that Mr. Leapart will be really working with those students, supporting them with those study skills, teaching those study skills, as well as Ms. Burke, who is their counselor. You're going to have several people that are going to know your children and be able to support them, as well as, like I said, those college level tutors coming into our building, as well as providing support outside via Zoom. Mr. Baskett, anything you want to add about that?
Yeah, so even though it's called AVID elective and it sounds optional, it's not. Once you're an AVID scholar, you do take that AVID elective each year, and students get a full credit, high school credit for AVID 1 through 4. So that even though it sounds optional, it's a part of the program, and students who are in the cohort, they do take the AVID elective each year, and they do need that course.
So what is or who is a PHS or Pelion High School AVID student? Is a first generation college student in the academic middle. They could be underrepresented racially, culturally, or economically in colleges and universities. These may be students who may respond better to a non-traditional approach to high school. And these are students that are also seeking really demanding coursework that are going to be provided with strong relationships from teachers, administrators, and counselors, with a variety of very rigorous and intentional support structures. And a student that's a hard worker, that's motivated, that has a positive outlook and attitude, and is collaborative, is willing to work together with teachers and their peers to really grow academically and figure out, like Mr. Baskett said, what they want to do in terms of their college career or their career once they graduate from high school and or college.
Yeah, and I'd highlight there too, when you think about, who that student is and what that profile looks like, the student has to be motivated. It will not be a great experience for them. They will not be very successful if they're not motivated, because if the adults are trying to motivate the child every day and say, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. Not that we don't do that to kind of give them a pep talk every once in a while, but they can't be driven to only work when somebody does that. It's easy to fall behind and get overwhelmed. And so just having great work ethic, if they do that, they'll be very successful with applying those AVID principles that they learn in their elective class.
So kind of moving through, we'll have two teams of a selection committee. So your student will apply.
You skipped one slide. It went.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. So our application window is currently open, and I'll resend that application to parents and students. We ask your student to apply. It's a Google form. It is currently open. It's also located on our school website, lexington1.net/PHS. And if you look under academics, you'll see an AVID site, and the application is open under there through March. And actually, that should say March 21st, not March 11th. Or I'm sorry, it is March 11th. I'm getting my dates backwards. Whenever they do apply, we do ask that they ask their teachers for 2 teacher recommendations. We really like a math or language arts teacher, and then a teacher of choice. And they'll be able to send that Zoom link to their teacher. That teacher just fills it out. And that kind of gives us a background of the student and what, the strengths that student brings and how AVID can benefit them. We'll then be holding Zoom interviews with our AVID team at the high school. That'll be made up of myself and the AVID teachers, our principal, Mr. Hearn, and Ms. Burke, our counselor. And it'll be 2 teams. And those 2 teams will ask them just generic or some interview questions to kind of gauge an understanding of your student and kind of learn about them. Around March 28th that week, we'll be sending a notice of acceptance to your students that your child has been accepted to the Pelion High School AVID program. And then during our freshman orientation, we'll have that AVID group together with our teachers to kind of go ahead and do some team building activities, to kind of go ahead and get familiar with those teachers and kind of go ahead and build that team building bond together. That date has not yet been announced. So here's what that selection committee will look at. And again, whenever your student applies using that Google form, they'll be adding a lot of things, but we'll be looking for their grade point average, your ELA and math performance. They'll have some short answer questions that's just asking what some of their successes are, what are their dreams for the future. We'll be looking at their interview performance. We'll be looking at their teacher recommendations, socioeconomic status, the education level of their parents, and then their attendance and discipline history. And so we'll kind of look at the broad scope of, or the entire picture of who your child is whenever they apply and have that interview process. Anything I need to add, Mr. Baskett?
No, that's pretty good. I will say the last part, attendance and discipline, is very challenging to be successful if a student's not at school, or if they're out of the classroom for, if it's something like an in-school suspension or out-of-school suspension, or anything that would kind of be detrimental to the community that's been built in the AVID cohort. And so that's one reason we do look at attendance and discipline, just to make sure that students are coming to school regularly, And that, if there are medical concerns, that's different. We understand that that happens, but when it comes to discipline, that's important as well. And it's not that if we see, one or two minor infractions that, nope, this student cannot do it. It's just, we want to see, has there been a consistent trend of or frequent, misbehavior? What's the severity of that behavior? Would it be entirely disruptive to the cohort? And so that's what the committee will be looking at when it comes to discipline.
And before I kind of get into staying informed, Mr. Baskett, do you want to talk about the College Center?
Sure. It looked like you skipped one more by accident. It kind of went twice.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can skip that one. Never mind. Yeah. So College Center, and I did want this to kind of be focused mostly on Pelion High School because I like to tell people it's not a competition. It's really about what's the best fit for families. And so we also use AVID with the College Center. You may have seen the announcement from the communications team and at the board meeting a couple weeks ago about the College Center relocating from Gilbert High School to Lexington Middle School's current campus, which is on North Lake Drive. So we use AVID, just like Pelion High. If you're looking for the opportunity to for your child to earn an associate's degree in high school, then you may want to consider our program. We partner with Midlands Technical College to provide that. And so we call them scholars. Our scholars are currently taking, sophomores are taking English 101 and Psychology 201 this spring. And then they did really well with their freshman seminar in the fall and also their art history and appreciation class. More than 93% of them earned C's or better in those two courses. And in that 7%, I always like to look at the ones who were not as successful too. So, we don't make it seem as if we don't care about them, because we do. Some of those were because of some medical concerns, they had to withdraw and go back to their home school. And then some because they just they did struggle a little bit and they were able to reflect on why they struggled. We withdrew them from the class so they did not earn credit, but they're still in our program. And so they're making an effort to kind of bounce back and be resilient this spring. And so if you're considering that, it is on the Lexington One website as well, on the main website. And if you go under academics, you'll see the College Center. There's more information there. But if you decide, hey, I don't want my child to have to worry about riding a shuttle to another campus and not being able to take some courses like band or orchestra or maybe chorus or any other fine or performing arts, then you may want to consider just applying for the AVID program at Pelion High School so that the student can still be on their campus and in their community all day without having to travel. So that's just kind of a general overview. There's definitely more information on that district website at lexington1.net under academics, and then you'll see the College Center.
And if you have any questions, even after this this meeting today, my contact information is listed, bmwilliams@lexington1.net, or feel free to give me a call. My number is 821-2206. But like I said, this is a brand new venture for Pelion High School that I'm really excited about to partner with Mr. Baskett and the AVID team. I think it's going to be a huge benefit to what already gains we're seeing from our freshman teaming program that we started this past year. Our freshmen are really excelling in that co-teaching and team model. And we feel like creating a cohort of AVID scholars at Pelion High School is really going to continue to benefit and allow our freshmen to really grow throughout their high school experience and really become those successful college career or military members of society. So with that being said, are there any questions that myself or Mr. Baskett or Ms. Burke could answer for you? Okay, well, if you do have any questions, please, again, feel free to call or email. I'll be sending out more communications and having a direct link to our AVID application page. So please encourage your student to apply. I'll be sending that to their direct email address as well. And if you have any questions for myself or Mr. Baskett, feel free to call us or email us. And Mr. Baskett, what is your email and line to your office.
Yeah, I'm gonna type that in the chat right now, but for those who may be listening and can't see the screen, it is BBASKETT@lexington1.net. I'm putting that in the chat. So 2 B's and 2 T's. And then my extension is 803. My phone number is 803-821-1921.
All right, and we'll kind of be hanging on until everybody drops off, but be looking for an email with that application. Encourage your student to look for that email. Again, we need the student to apply, not the parent. So we ask that you ask your student to apply if they're interested, if it's something that you're interested about. And if your student has a question, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email as well. We'll be glad to answer any questions that they have. And we hope to see many of you and your children in our inaugural AVID program for next school year. So if you don't have any questions, thank you for your time and attendance. And we hope to see your student next year, or we look forward to seeing your student next year at Pelion High School. And we hope to see them in the AVID application process and in our AVID program. So thank y'all for your time this evening.